Hi everybody. I'm sure this video is finding everybody getting all ready for Easter, if you celebrate Easter. And I always find that when we're getting ready to have family celebrations, I always miss people that have passed away. Like I really miss my father and my grandmother when we have big family celebrations. It's not a sadness, but it's just, you just sort of, I guess, have the memories of the wonderful times that you had. So I have here in this big Ziploc bag a whole bunch of things that were my dad's. I asked my mom a while ago if I could have some of his things just to have. I didn't know what I was going to do with them. And then lo and behold, I came across this really cool article, of course, in Somerset magazine, of what to do and how to make a hairbrush, a vintage hairbrush, into a picture holder. So I noticed inside of the bag was my dad's favorite hairbrush. So I just want to say that if you have a chance to pick up this particular issue of Somerset magazine, it's, I believe, October, November, December 2010. It has the most amazing projects in it. I think all of the last few projects I've shown you have come from this particular issue. So anyway, I went on to find a picture of myself with my dad, and I found one of him walking me down the aisle. So I just photocopied it onto some matte cardstock, and then I'll just put the original back in my wedding album. And then I had to repair the hairbrush because it had broken. So the articles I'm going to use is one of his handkerchiefs, the broken hairbrush, which I am going to fix, and then he used to have this kind of an, like, not a handkerchief, I think it's called an ascot thing. So I'm just going to use those three things to create my photo holder. So I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to repair this brush. If the brush was going to be used for something other than just holding a lightweight picture, I'd probably use an adhesive that was just a little bit stronger. But I think this will work just fine. And I'm also going to glue in some of the bristles that are missing there with the glue gun as well. The next thing I want to do is take my tattered flowers die and that scarlet red ascot thing. I folded it in fours and just place it on that, and I'm just going to create a flower embellishment for the handle. So I'll just run it through the big shot and see how it comes out. I'm hoping that it comes out a little bit sort of frayed on the edges so it looks more worn. And that's exactly how the flowers are coming out, which is great, because I don't want it to look like everything is brand new, because it is a vintage picture, and so you can see the threads sort of all around the edges of the flower there, and I'm just going to leave them hanging like that. I created one of the tattered flowers just by kind of putting glue on the biggest one, and then I sort of pinched it up in the center to give it a bit of a center. Now I'm going to take my dad's handkerchief and I'm going to just spritz it away with just a variety of glimmer mists. I'm trying to make it look really, again, kind of grungy, and so I'm just going to spray with just random different colors of glimmer mists, and then I'm going to take some vintage photo ink and just rub the whole thing in it so it doesn't look so white. Amazing how white it still looks after all these years. So I'm just going to grunge this all up. I love the way it turned out, and then I dried it with my embossing gun, and then I'm just going to take some scissors and sort of cut a few strips. I don't want to cut the whole thing up because I might use it again for another project, so I'm just going to cut maybe 2 or 3 strips. So I just snipped one edge and then just ripped it just along the green line there, and again I want the strings hanging to give it that vintage cloth look. So I've also taken some strips from the ascot that I used for the tattered flowers. So I'm just going to take 3 strips of the handkerchief that's been grunged up, and then on the outside I'm just going to tie around the handle the red ascot piece and just tie it in a knot. I just tied it in one knot, so not even a knot, just one tie, because I want to stick my flower on top and I didn't want it to be too bulky right there. So I'm just gonna glue on with the glue gun my tattered flower and just place it right in the center of the knot. I just love how that looks. I was trying to keep it from being too feminine because it is my dad's hairbrush, but at the same time it's got a picture of me in it too, so I guess a flower will be okay. And I think I'm going to add a vintage button right in the center of my flower. I can't remember what package these buttons came in, but they had a little bit of an adhesive foam thing on the back. And so I'm going to peel that off because, again, it just adds too much dimension to it. So I'm going to glue that right in the middle of my flower. And then off camera, I cut the ends a little bit of the strips because they were a little bit too long. So I cut them at an angle, just kind of random angles. I didn't want them to be even again, and trying to keep that tattered look to the hairbrush. Thought it might be a good idea just to date the back of the picture, so I just put my father and I, and then the date of our wedding. I know what date it was, but you never know. Somebody might find this in years to come and wonder who it is and what date it was, and so I just put that on the back of the photo. And I have the perfect place where I want to put this. I have this cool picture display in my family room. It's actually 2 plate racks, and what I've done is on the top shelf there's pictures of my husband and his family as children and their ancestors, and on the bottom this is like my family and my grandparents and great-grandparents and my great-aunt. So I'm going to make some room on that shelf, and that's where I'm going to place this really special hairbrush. It's my father's hairbrush and a picture of me and him in it. And I really think that turning a vintage hairbrush into a picture holder is a great idea. So I'd like to wish you all a really happy Easter with you and your family, and enjoy all your memories, past and present, and I hope you make a whole bunch of new ones too. So we'll see you next time, and thanks for watching. Bye.